Hello everyone, my name is Talisha Inclon, and today I'm going to be discussing Module 15, Chapter 21, that covers the critical theory of communication in organizations. To begin, I would like to present a short introduction of the theory, followed by a description of the theory highlighting its components by providing an example from my personal experience. I will also follow up with more real-world applications of the theory. To conclude, I will summarize how we have gained a new perspective on situations through the use of the critical theory of communication in organizations. Module 1521 covers Stan Dietz's critical theory of communication in organizations by exposing the unjust and unwise communication practices within organizations. Dietz advocates for practices within corporations in which everyone who will be significantly affected by a corporate policy should have a voice in the decision-making process. He refers to this as stakeholder participation. Dietz's goal through this critical theory is to examine communication practices in organizations that undermine fully representative decision-making, and thus reduce the quality, innovation, and fairness of business decisions. Dietz is highly critical of managerialism, which is a system of logic, set of routine practices, and ideology that values control over all other concerns. Dietz dismantles corporate practices of increasing control over workers, engineering their consent by granting them free expression without giving them a voice in the decisions, by introducing the idea of stakeholder democracy. Stakeholder democracy is the process by which all stakeholders within an organization negotiate power and openly reach collaborative decisions. Stakeholders involve investors, workers, consumers, suppliers, host communities, and the greater society and world community. For my example, I'm going to be critical of my current job's stakeholder participation. I work for a pizzeria and have been employed by the company for 4 years. When I first started working there, each guest would be given the opportunity to comment on a speak-up card. A comment on a speak-up card could range from, "I had a great server," to "My pizza was too dark," to "You all should open a location in Austin." In a speak-up card, a consumer, as the stakeholder, has the opportunity to voice any opinion they would like, with good faith that the company will take these opinions into consideration. Last year, our company decided to do away with the speak-up cards, no longer allowing our consumers, as stakeholders, to have stakeholder participation. This was disappointing for not only our consumers, who appreciate having a voice in the company, but also for employees, who also appreciate consumers' comments and feedback. This action by my company led me to believe that they work in favor of a more managerial structure of communication within the organization, which is contradictory to what Dietz advocates for by affirming the importance of democratic participation, fairness, equality, diversity, and cooperation by reserving a seat at the table for every class of stakeholder. Per my example I have provided, you should now have a better understanding of the critical theory of communication in an organization. The real-world application of the theory is clearly shown. Now that I have drawn an example from my own personal experiences, I will now make some inferences. If my company wants to build stakeholder values, then they need to bring back speak-up cards and allow all stakeholders to have a voice in corporate-made decisions. This real-world application of the theory has taught me the value of stakeholders' voice within a corporation. This general concept can be used in all other aspects of life outside of corporations, such as allowing for stakeholder democracy within your family unit or even within the classroom. In conclusion, gaining knowledge of communication in organizations allows me to gain insight on the practices within my company, which allowed me to recognize that there is room for greater stakeholder participation. Going forward, I am hopeful that because of what I have learned about communication in organizations, that I, as well as others, am able to steer away from managerialism and gravitate more towards stakeholder participation. Everyone affected by a corporation should have a voice in the decision-making. Thank you.